Just know what to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's down to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. What's the show? To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never gonna hear you out if what I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not gonna hear that. I'm not gonna receive that. That's not my ministry. A lot of y'all sit and give too much of y'all time and effort to people who don't deserve it. Why would you be listening to somebody telling you that 2 + 2 is 92 when you know it's not? That is a waste of my time. It's not of the kingdom. It's not. And I would not subject myself to foolishness, okay? Because I don't like to consider myself to be foolish, so I don't want to sit with it. No, it ain't nothing we can do. We done talking. I'm done talking. I'm done listening as well. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear that. I hope it reaches you and I hope it touches your spirit. Stop entertaining foolishness. Because people will start seeing you as foolish or somebody to be played with. And I don't like to be played with. Go play Atari. Go play some spades. But don't play with me. All right, love you, bye. One thing for sure and two things for certain.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Super. It's your girl, Super. I know I have been in MIA for a minute. I have been working on videos to release to you, which will be forthcoming shortly. But I did want to pop in today. As you can see, the topic is Harvey's mayor passed away in the early hours of this morning from complications due to an illness. My condolences go out to his family. You know, we all have a family. We all have people who love us. And I'm sure that he is no exception. So my condolences go out to his family. But we are going to have a community conversation today, you know, about goes on. And, you know, you can chime in too. I'm going to drop the link later on. We're not going to be on too long today. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. Let's see what we want. Bobo, thank you for being here. Dave Bryson, thank you. Hey, Strawberry Shortcake, I ain't seen you in a while. Thank you for popping in. Debbie loves to chat. What's up? What's up? Renee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's going on? Hey, Jim C, what's going on? Speak. What's up to you as well? First, I want to say thank you to all of my mods, Dave Bryson, Bobo the Idiot, Wyoming gal. I'm sure she'll pop in later. Thank you to Nope, Not Even. Thank you all to you guys for popping in when you can to be able to moderate this channel. And thank you to all the viewers that are viewing today. You know, as it was told to us today, like I said previously a few minutes ago, in the early hours of this morning, the mayor of Harvey, Mayor Christopher Clark, passed away. And from some illness, we all know that he has been battling something since he was not present at the meeting since about October. And then we did find out that he was in hospital and so forth and so on. And we are here now. You know, what's up, Javar? I can't see everybody. Let me make it so I can see everybody. This thing be this all right, I can see everybody now. Um so right, let's talk about this. Let's have a community conversation about this. Because one thing that Dominique Randall, who ran the last meeting that was had as mayor pro temp, said that the mayor was human. And indeed he is. We all are. Um my personal opinion is, should the mayor have not had stepped down sooner, um, and allowed the city of Harvey to carry on, um, because he could not go forward with the city with whatever he was battling. Sometimes your health is more important than a title. Your health is more important than a seat. Um, sometimes our own personal issues are bigger than we can, handle sitting in a seat. So should he have not, gone forward and, resigned from his seat earlier? I'm sure that it is the stubborn part of him, as it is in all of us, to not want to relent or to concede to anyone. But I don't think in this particular moment that, taking care of your health and focusing on your family is any type of um, relenting or admitting that you lost or anything of that nature. It's definitely an adult decision to be able to allow a city that you say you love to go forward. Um, However, there have been mixed uh, yeah, responses online to the passing of the mayor. There have been some people who do not feel any type of sympathy. And let me say this: everybody does not get the same version of you. So I see a lot of people saying, shame on you, um, you know, let his family grieve, have some decorum. But at the same time, whatever your version of him was may be different from other people's versions of him, right? Um, and what he gave you, this is for the people who are saying have decorum and can just say shut up and say condolences. That your version of him may not be the version that he gave to other people. I'm also going to say this, and this may sound harsh, but it is, and you're always going to get the truth over here with Super, um, whether it be for or against whatever I'm saying. And this is really the truth of the matter. How you die does not excuse the way you lived. There is a gospel song called Time is Winding Up. And the song simply states that time is winding up. Get your business straight because time is winding up. And time is like the commodity that we never have enough of, right? Um, Let me read this comment. It says, RIP, thank you for your beautiful service to the citizens. Now go get that school board and any other board that gives service just like Clerk. I mean, there you have it. But, like I said, how you live, how you die does not excuse how you lived. People are going to remember the things that you have done. That is the reason for the song, to get your business straight, to get your house in order, to right whatever wrongs, to, perhaps carve a new path for yourself, right? If you are trying to pivot, you need to pivot quickly. If this doesn't tell anyone that, it should tell them that you need to pivot and you need to do it quickly because time is winding up. And time is not something that we all have a lot of. The good book also says that from dust you came and dust you shall return. So it could be possible, but that we all have this route to travel, right? The big thing is going to be how we travel it. And once we get to our destination, what's going to happen when we get there? God forbid I stand in front of a man and in front of God, and I have to tell him that, I didn't do everything that you gave my hands for me to do. I actually, kind of fumbled the ball, and in my carnal self was very petty and very ugly to a lot of people, right? Time is winding up. Don't let, your last days end up being your legacy, because that is what is actually happening. Let's just be honest, right? And I can't give you a sorrowful sermon for someone who has fed me sorrow, if that makes sense. Right? So, I just want everyone to be mindful, when you're making your comments, just be mindful that this person did have a family. He was someone different, to them. He was their son, their father, their brother. Just keep those things in mind and try to keep your comments, kind of respectful. And if you really don't have anything to add to the condolences, then maybe not add to the confusion, but definitely sit in your truth about whatever version of this person you received, because that's really what we're out here talking about, right? We're talking that there is now a city that is left in distress and has more questions than answers, because the person that has the answers has now expired, and we don't have any way to get closure, because the answers have passed away with this person. And so, that is my reasoning for bringing up that song, Time is Winding Up. How you die does not excuse how you lived, right? I'm sure that in some spaces, this man was a good man. I'm sure that to some people, they can testify to him helping them in some capacity. But that is not going to be everybody's story. And it's not going to be everybody's wish of great condolences. Is not, there are lots of people out here who are not going to fake how they feel. So you are going to have to keep your feelings in check. And that's really what I want to say. Now, I feel like this is going to reveal a lot of if he was truly the puppet master of this board, the four alder yes men. Was he really telling them what to do behind the scenes? Because if he was, it is at this point in juncture, we should now be seeing the board trying to unify and come together to move Harvey forward, right? If he was the puppet master and they were all voting as a solid block because he told them to, and now he's no longer there to tell them to, what is going to happen? For me personally, The next supposed meeting is February the 9th. Now, will they call a special meeting just to appoint a mayor pro temp? And let's be clear, there are statutes and ordinances and laws in regards to what will happen in such a time that the mayor is incapacitated or the mayor passes away, right? I see some people saying, well, Shirley Dewinski is the senior trustee. She's been there the longest. First of all, I want to say it makes no difference about who's been there and who hasn't been there. It is strictly about who the majority of the board votes to be the mayor pro temp until it is time for an election. Okay? Now, here's my guess. My guess is that the four jellyback aldermen, ain't now one of them gonna want to be mayor, right? Because that seat comes with a whole bunch of scrutiny. Okay. So Debbie, yes, it is legal for them to do that. The special election comes with stipulations, and that decision will come from the Cook County Board of Elections. So they don't vote for a new mayor until 2027. And that would be March of 2027 would be the primary. And then November would be the general election, right? So they really don't vote for a new mayor until November. And so it's quite a ways. There is an election coming up for some other seats in March and then a primary in November. So it's really all about timing and dates, right? And then that would be the decision of the Board of Elections to say that under the statutes, this has to occur. And the lawyer for the municipality would be the one that should be telling them and directing them to the correct statute and the correct thing to do and vote for under the Illinois state law. That is what they are there for. They are the parliamentarians of the meetings to keep them within the laws of Illinois and the statutes, right? So the lawyers should be talking with the aldermen and sending them emails if the aldermen have not already contacted Ansel and Glink to ask them, what do we do going forward? The first thing they will probably have to do, because they have a meeting coming up February the 9th, is to appoint a mayor pro temp. And then from there will be decisions made about a special election, and then an election. But I doubt they do a special election. Whoever they vote as mayor pro temp will probably have to sit in that seat until such time as they vote, because it's only next year is when they vote for a mayor. That's when all of that starts. At the same time, this is my prediction, all the yes men, none of them are going to want to be mayor pro temp, because that seat is going to come with a lot of scrutiny. It's going to come with a lot of criticism. So you're going to have thick skin, and you're also going to have to dig in to whatever is happening, right? You're going to get in this seat and literally not know what is happening, what is going on. But you will be able to do certain things, like have the treasurer make a report finally, have the comptroller release information to the public finally, have a proper finance meeting held finally. You can even get rid of people at this point. So I doubt before all the yes men that this is where the lights come on and people go scrambling. Okay, this is where that happens. um, because that's going to be a very heavy weight. Oh my God, Tiffany Hilliard may run for mayor. She's not even here anymore, and I'm not even sure that she didn't register in Georgia to vote because she moved there. I don't know. I haven't checked. You can check with the Board of Elections to see if she's still registered in the village of Dalton. But she would have to have lived in Harvey for a year before she can even run. So there are, residency rules, right? So a person does have to have an address in Harvey and be listed there for a year prior to an election. So she couldn't. That's nothing that she could do now, because she's had a Dalton address and now she's in Georgia. But, I digress. And she would have to be registered to vote in Harvey in order to do that. So I don't think that the 4 Alder yes men are going to, none of them are going to want to step up to be in that mayor's seat because of that. Because now, you're going to feel the sting of all of these questions and what are we going to do? And I don't think any of them are equipped to do that, especially if they were allowing the former mayor to tell them how to vote, when to vote, what to say, and what to do. They definitely not. We also have the matter of the clerk. The clerk's office is also vacant. There is a matter of, did she do that correctly? The correct way, the first informal way she could have done was sent an email to the mayor to tell him that she was resigning from her seat. But she had 30 days to follow up from that email, and she would have to have a notarized resignation and send that notarized resignation to the city or to the village via certified mail. And then she could give copies to all the other people. And I don't even know if that was done. According to one of the aldermen, one of my sources, aldermen, that was not done. The aldermen were not notified that the clerk seat was vacant. So, and the other thing is, has she still been getting paid? Has she still been getting paid since she said that she resigned in November, October? Has she still been getting paid? And if she hasn't, why couldn't they have used that salary to retain some more public safety employees, i.e. the firemen? So the matter of the clerk's office is still up in the air as well. So Harvey doesn't have 1 seat vacant; it has 2 seats vacant. They do have a deputy clerk, but she's a deputy clerk. She is not authorized to sign anything or do any official duties. She's the deputy clerk, so she doesn't have the same maybe credentials as a full-fledged clerk. So while she could temporarily be appointed as the clerk, that seat is still vacant and someone needs to be appointed to it. Someone qualified needs to be appointed to it. This does afford Harvey to clean up a lot of things, right? To get rid of one of these lawyers. I mean, they're carrying 2 law firms, to get rid of these lobbyists that they're paying $5,000 a month for. That is a lot of money a month. Bring back the firefighters. 4 people on duty during the day to fight, to take any emergency calls or fires is ludicrous. It is absolutely insane. Now bump that number up to 7 on the weekends, but 4 during the week is still crazy because if anything happens, you have the chief that will have to come in. Loads of people would have to come in, and then all the other municipalities would have to fill in if they could, if they weren't fighting any fires or doing any calls. So are we at a point where we believe that the board can unify and put Harvey first, now that the alleged puppeteer or puppet master is no longer in play? Those are the questions that I have in regards to what is going to happen next. The next thing that should be happening, all the alder people should be contacting the lawyer to find out what do they need to do, because there is a meeting coming up February the 9th, and they need to know when they step into this meeting what has to be done and for what amount of time that it's going to be done, so that they can answer those questions for the residents, right? And then also be able to give the residents answers about when an election is coming. There is enough time to get these questions answered, and have some answers for the residents at their next meeting. Thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Like, share, subscribe, all of those things if you like my content. I want to hear from you guys, and what you think about what has transpired. I mean, that is a lot going on in Harvey. Two elected positions are vacant. The clerk position, we have no idea when that became vacant legally. Some of the older people are saying they did not receive notice, whether it be notarized notice or certified mail notice to the village. That was not done. So, and there are claims that the mayor knew of this. Oh, thank you, Debbie. There are claims that the mayor knew of this resignation back in October, November, when he became ill. Again, I'm going to say this again. How you die does not excuse how you live. And people have their own version that they received of this mayor, and they're entitled to their experiences. We do send condolences to his mother, to his children, to his family. But, there's also the matter of business that has to be taken care of. I want to hear what you all have. What are your thoughts about what is happening? Like I said, we ain't going to be here long. This wasn't a long thing. I just wanted to pop in and give my thoughts like everybody else. I just wanted to give my thoughts like everybody else. Hold on one second. And again, I do have some videos coming. A couple of videos, I won't discuss in full on here, but there was a question about the two homes that the mayor owned. One of them is owned by a company that also owned a few homes on the block that they eminent domained for the retention pond, which is quite interesting. Why should a company own one of the homes that you are saying is owned either by your mother or by yourself? But we'll get into that at a later date. I did drop the link into the chat if anybody wants to come up. If not, listen, rum and coke is all I can make, and we're gonna be out of here. I do hope that the board chooses and thinks about their choice, right? For me, last time when they voted Dominique Randall L, it was a hasty decision. They just voted him because They didn't want Colby or Tracy to get it, which is crazy to me. But I hope that the board really thinks about who they are going to nominate and who they are voting for, because Harvey has declared itself a distressed city, and if they want that, to continue to go forward and try to get help, then whoever sits in that seat needs to carry on in that vein. They need to get the audits up to date, because if you research it, the comptroller, I mean, not the comptroller, yeah, the comptroller, the audits that you turn in, your audits have to be up to date in order for the comptroller to send a recommendation to the governor to approve you being or becoming a distressed city. We all know that Harvey is behind 3 years on their audits. So, that needs to be done. At $110,000 an audit from the Kasperic group, they need to find another group. $110,000 outside of whatever they charge for their normal duties. This what they're charging for an audit. So, for me, that person may need to rethink even that price for the village, because where is this money coming from if you say you have no revenue coming in from taxes and or businesses? So we'll also see, once that person gets in the seat, what is happening with these business licenses. The laundromat was served a cease and desist. So, for me, that needs to be, I guess, looked at. What is going on with that? Why is there a backlog of people without business licenses? Was there no courtesy call? Because they said they're not required to send them notice of their renewal pending. And if that's the case, I mean, things do slip through the cracks. So, that's just my question. All right, if nobody wants to come on to say their piece or whatever it is, I'm gonna get out of here. That's all I got to say. Dollar Tree has a cease and desist notice on the door. Yeah, they've been closed a while. I thought I drove past there and I saw them open though. I was there that way last week and I thought I saw them open, but they could still have a cease and desist. And even if they went and paid and turned in their stuff or did it online, why is this not available online? That person that gets in the seat, look how long it takes you to pay your water bill because you have to go in person. One person said they stood in line for at least an hour and a half. Okay, nope, not even, yeah. So, okay. So I feel like it needs to be looked into about why it's taking it so long and why can they not renew their business licenses online. All these other municipalities are up to date with the computer renewals. Why is Harvey not able to do computer renewals? It's hard to believe though that as the alderperson of the third ward said, that it's hard to believe that billion-dollar company can't pay $250 for a business license. So I would say that there is something fishier going on in that regard, because you talking about billion-dollar companies and they can't pay $250,000, and that's your testimony to this court, ma'am. Please, okay. So, that person that gets in that seat, they need to find out what is going on in that department. What happened? Did they get the money and they still just haven't processed the paperwork? The paperwork is sitting there because the mayor was in the hospital. So the mayor, if the mayor has been in the hospital since right around October, how can he sign business licenses? Business licenses have to be signed by the mayor and the clerk. So this is not these businesses' fault that the mayor was, I don't know, whatever he was, unavailable. We'll say unavailable. That the mayor was unavailable and not able to sign the business licenses, then somebody else needed to be put in place. And this is why I said what I said about maybe he should have stepped down, sooner, as to let the business of Harvey continue. Because if these business licenses are sitting on the mayor's desk waiting for signing, then yeah, they're going to get a cease and desist because there's nobody to sign the business license. They could have paid their money, turned in their paperwork, and there was no one to sign. There was no clerk, and there was no mayor. So why are these businesses getting cease and desist when those two, well, now the mayor's position is vacant, but he hasn't been available since October. So there's the two critical positions that sign these documents. Those offices were vacant. So makes me wonder and ask, how are they issuing cease and desist when there is no leadership to sign said business licenses? Even if I go in, I turn in my paperwork, I pay my $250, or I pay my whatever, however much it costs, then my paperwork is just sitting somewhere waiting to be signed, because those two offices have been vacant since October. So how are these cease and desist being issued? Are these people talking? Is the person in head of issuing these cease and desist? Are they speaking? Are they saying, well, there's nobody to sign the business licenses? I mean, I can't really issue a cease and desist statement right here, but there's nobody to sign it. It doesn't seem proper, but this would be a deterrent for businesses to come to Harvey if things are going to be handled in this manner. Very hard for businesses to say, "Oh, I want to do business in Harvey," or even help Harvey. But that's just my spiel. All right. Well, listen, you all enjoy the rest of your evening. I got loads of videos coming to you. Get ready to sit back, watch, learn, listen. And some things you're going to like to hear, some things you're not. But all of it will be the truth coming from over here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. I'm getting ready to go into some cold case series of missing people. First up will be Trista Timmy. We'll talk about it. Okay? We're going to be doing some cold case missing person files. See how you guys like that. I've been doing lots of work. That's why I haven't really been on, because I've been trying to get everything put together. I don't have no assistant and no team. It's just me. I'm the team. Okay? But I thank you guys for hanging in there with me. And listen, I'll see you on the next video. Like, share, subscribe, all of the things are the things. I see you guys.